Go ahead, Ed.
A few things, Karine, thank you. Following up on the State of the Union, I believe it was the President who suggested he has spoken with Speaker McCarthy. Are there any plans for them to meet in person before February?
Yeah, they spoke, and I think we actually shared that with all of you. The day that Speaker McCarthy became Speaker, you saw a statement from the President and the First Lady congratulating Kevin McCarthy becoming Speaker. And then the next day, I believe that was on a Friday, I believe the next day, which was a Saturday, the President had a direct conversation. He connected with Speaker McCarthy and congratulated him in person.
No plans yet for,
I don't have a plan. I don't have a scheduled meeting to share with you at this
I
time.
wanted to follow up on a few things from yesterday. When was the President informed about the Attorney General's decision to appoint a special counsel? How and by whom?
So, the specifics on that, here's what I can tell you. I can tell you that we were not giving a heads up. I was asked that question yesterday. We did not know that was the announcement was going to come yesterday until after it happened, so I can clear the deck there and let you know. Anything else specific to when the President knew or anything that's related to this, I would refer you to the White House counsel's office. I know many of you that I'm looking at right now has been in close touch with my colleague there. And so I would continue to refer you to my colleague at the White House counsel's office.
One of the things that they finally confirmed for us is that Bob Bauer is indeed the President's personal attorney handling some of this. Given that the Justice Department cited the personal counsel as having made this initial outreach to National Archives and has been in touch with the Justice Department, is that the person who these questions should be directed to? Why the White House counsel?
I will say this again. Whatever the White House counsel, my colleague told you in your conversation, I know you guys just spoke or connected earlier today, I would ask them that question. And anything related to the review, I would refer you to the Department of Justice.
And regarding the extraordinary measures that the Treasury Secretary announced a little while ago in advance notice to Congress, is there a policy that requires her to give advance notice of those plans? You
have to reach out to the Department of Treasury on how that process works. What I can say is just so that everyone knows, folks who are watching, the debt limit is projected to be reached on Thursday, January 19th. At that point, Treasury will begin to take extraordinary measures to prevent default. Secretary Yellen did not name a specific X date, if you will. The day Treasury would no longer be able to pay the government's obligations. But quoting from the Secretary's letter, it's unlikely that cash and extraordinary measures will be exhausted before early June. But that does not mean that Congress should not wait until then to raise the debt ceiling, as we have been saying over and over again. The sooner Congress acts, the better, since even the prospect of not raising the debt ceiling will have damage the full faith and the credit of our nation. And again, we are going to continue to encourage Congress to act. But as far as the steps and how this all works, I would refer you to the Department of Treasury.
6 days till the 19th. A few years ago, she did it about 10 days before.
I understand. I would refer you to the Department of Treasury.
There's nothing to it being announced today amid the situation that the White House is facing.
I would refer you to Department of Treasury. And just to be very clear here, Ed, I've been in here almost every day since we got back from Mexico City, standing here taking your questions at length. So that we're not avoiding anything here, and you've heard from the President at least twice, and we have put forth multiple statements from the White House counsel's office. So that suggestion I just disagree with. Go ahead, Kristen.